Text. Perhaps the simplest form of expression, but also the blandest. In Terraria, all text always looks like this. A white, bold fill and a black stroke outline on the Andy typeface. Kinda bland. But there are several ways around this if you wish to add a bit of pizzazz to the text found across your world. Many players don't even know you can add special formatting to your own text, but you can. Specifically, you can use these special codes to add color, items, glyphs, or even achievement prompts to the text all around your world. Specifically, your chests, your chat, and yes, even your own character name as well. Want to use this to put an item on your chest to make your item storage system more intuitive? You can do that. Want to make your chat messages red for that added emphasis of rage, fervor, and dread? You can do that as well. Making your character name the Magma Skull just because you feel like it? Sure, that works as well. Any of these and any combination of them is possible using these codes. First up, we have what I'd say is the most important one, color. This one is simple. You simply surround your text in the code C/hexcode:, where your text goes after the colon. This code here after the slash is the hex code, which is basically a 6-digit alphanumeric code that represents the specific color. There's definitely more to talk about with hex codes, but if you aren't familiar with them, you can just search RGB color picker and choose a color this way. These pickers will tell you the hex code. If you don't want to use an online picker, most basic art programs like Paint 3D will also give you the hex code of any color when you go to pick a color. Now that you have your hex code, just type it in as so, type in your text, and close the bracket. If you did it right, it should automatically format, and bam, there's your text. Our second code type is the item code, which is the most visually striking. This one is much more concise than the color code, simply being I: followed by the item ID, surrounded by brackets. That's it. To get the item ID of any item in the game, you can use our favorite website, the Terraria wiki. On this website, you can find the item ID of any item on the bottom of the info box, right here under internal item ID. Once you type in this, just like before, it should autocomplete and show a visible interactive item. You can even hover over the item if it's displayed in chat. But we're not done with items just yet. Unlike color, there are expansions on the item code, specifically those that let us change the item's prefix and stack size. Note though that these will only work on items that support them normally in-game. To change your prefix, use a /p followed by the modifier ID before the colon, like this. To find a modifier ID, just look through this list on the Terraria wiki page. For example, modifier ID 4 is Savage. If an item is stackable though, we can use /s instead of /p in this way, with the stack size following the s. Our third and fourth code types are the simplest, the achievement and glyphs. To use them, just use A: and G:, much like in the previous item example. Following them, you can use the achievement internal names or glyph IDs, which can be found on lists on the chat Terraria wiki page, right here. When these are used in-game, glyphs will display a controller glyph of some kind, while achievements will format into blue text displaying a particular achievement, which is also interactive. It'll bring up your achievement menu to a particular achievement if you click on it. Quite neat. Well, now that we got all 4 code types down, let's talk about applications and limitations. When talking in chat or using announcement boxes, chat length is essentially unlimited. This means you can basically put in really fancy text formatting or troll your friends with elaborate or simple messages like this. However, not all mediums are this free. Chests are limited to 20 characters, meaning formatted names are limited to 11 characters of colored text or a few items. With 20 characters, you also cannot use items and colored text together, but you can use an item with regular text together. For chests, though, this doesn't really matter much since short titles work with chests very well. As for character names, though, it's a bit more complicated. On local worlds which aren't a server, you can make your character names as long as you like, given that you use an inventory editor to enter the name. For example, here's this Rainbow Gradient character of mine which has 2 items on it, which looks short, but is actually crazy long internally due to all the formatting needed to make gradients. I can join local worlds just fine, but if I try to join a vanilla server, it will tell you that your name is too long. To keep your character compatible with most servers, it must again be a maximum of 20 characters long, which is a bit limiting. Also, since your character name is secretly displayed using the end tag when you talk in chat, your name formatting will not actually display properly when talking in chat. It will, however, work properly when you die, use a /me command, or any other neutral display in chat. All of this might seem a bit sad for those of you looking forward to formatted character names, but it really isn't that limiting. If you're playing on single player, there is no character name length limitation, nor do you talk in chat, meaning that there is basically no issue here. On multiplayer, it is a bit more sketchy, especially in length, but if you aren't using chat as your main communication avenue, there isn't too much of an issue either, except for the fact that your name needs to be a bit shorter. Overall, not too bad. Also, you might have noticed how I didn't talk about signs. Well, that's because they don't work on signs, or even announcement boxes if you hover over them. Why this is absolutely beyond me. I just don't know anymore. Unfortunately, while Terraria is rather inconsistent and limited in the use of formatting codes, it still lets you do a lot. I think the ability to color and name your chest is the most important and useful one. Character names would also be really nice if it wasn't so arbitrarily restrictive, though I think on single player where there are no length limits, I think they are a great way to customize your character. I don't know what you'll do with this knowledge, but I hope that you find some use of it. I really do hope that Relogic irons out some of the kinks in the next update, because letting us have some creativity like this is something I hope we can all appreciate. Hello, if you enjoyed my content, I ask you to subscribe, as only around 18% of you are. Here's some similar trivia content of mine if you're looking for more, such as this one talking about the Eater eating worlds. Either way though, thank you for watching, and good day, and goodbye.